You know, if you used a computer back in the early 2000s, I bet there are a few things that are just permanently burned into your brain. That rolling green hill wallpaper, right? The triumphant startup sound, maybe even those kind of sad shutdown chimes. That was the world of Windows XP. It was an operating system that didn't just run our computers, it pretty much defined a whole era.
So, why are we still talking about it 20 plus years later? I mean, it's ancient in tech years. Well, it's because Windows XP wasn't just another update, it was a solution. It looked at the biggest, most frustrating problems in computing at the time, and one by one, it just solved them. You see, before XP, the Windows universe was totally split in two. For your home computer, you had stuff like Windows 98 or Windows Me. They were fun, colorful, great for games. But oh my gosh, they were unstable. You were constantly holding your breath just waiting for the next crash. Then for business, you had Windows NT or 2000. These things were fortresses, super powerful and secure. But they were also complicated, kind of drab, and good luck trying to get your favorite game to run on them. You had to make a choice. Did you want fun or did you want stability? You just couldn't have both.
So, the first problem Microsoft had to tackle was just the look and feel of the thing. Back then, computers still felt like these super complex tools that were only for experts. XP's mission? To completely change that. And boy, did they succeed. XP rolled out this new look called Luna. All of a sudden, the boxy, battleship gray windows were gone. Instead, you had these vibrant blue title bars, a big, friendly green start button, even the corners were rounded. It might sound like a small thing now, but that visual makeover made the whole experience feel so much more welcoming and way less intimidating for millions of people. And then there was the Start menu. Oh, the Start menu. Before XP, you'd click it and the single long list would just cascade out, sometimes clear off the edge of the screen. XP's fix was just brilliant, a simple two-column layout. On the left, it automatically put the programs you used most often. On the right, you had quick access to your files and settings. All of a sudden, everything was organized. It was a huge leap forward. At the same time this was all happening, those big, bulky CRT monitors were starting to disappear, replaced by these new flat-screen LCDs. The only problem? Text on them could look kind of fuzzy and jagged. Well, XP had a secret weapon for this called ClearType. I won't get into the weeds, but it used this really clever trick to make text on screen look incredibly sharp and smooth. It was almost like reading print from a book, and it made staring at a screen all day so much easier on the eyes. Okay, so computers were starting to look better and feel better, but what we were actually doing with them was changing in a huge way. Digital cameras, MP3 players, they were exploding. Our PCs were becoming the home for our photos, our music, our memories, and honestly, it was a mess trying to manage all that stuff. And Microsoft totally saw this coming. They specifically designed Windows XP to be the command center for your digital life. They called it a digital hub. The whole idea was that it could just effortlessly handle anything you threw at it. Your file explorer wasn't just a list of files anymore. It was designed to help you do things. And just look at how they handled photos. For the very first time, your folders would actually show you little pictures of what was inside. You didn't have to guess based on file names anymore. Then you'd open it up and there was this great film strip view for browsing. They even built in tools for quick rotations and a wizard that walked you step by step through printing your photos. It made digital photography feel easy. And then there was this little piece of magic called autoplay. Before this, you'd plug in a new camera or a USB drive, and then you'd have to go hunt down the right program to open your files. It was a pain. With autoplay, you just plugged your camera in, and a little box would pop up and ask, "Hey, you've got pictures here. What do you want to do with them?" It just figured it out for you. No more guesswork. Now this was a huge deal. If you wanted to burn a CD back then, you had to go out and buy special software like Nero or Roxio, and then figure out how to use it. XP built that feature right into the system. You could literally just drag your files onto the CD icon and click a button. This was the move that democratized the mixtape CD for an entire generation. But you know, for all the talk about new features, maybe the biggest problem, the one that caused the most rage, was instability. If you used Windows 98 or Me, you know exactly what I'm talking about, the dreaded blue screen of death. So the single biggest change in Windows XP was something most people never even saw. For the first time, Microsoft took that ultra-stable, powerful core from its business operating systems, the NT kernel, and put it into a home OS. This meant it had something called protected memory. Think of it like this. Every program gets its own little padded room. If one program goes haywire and crashes, it can't take the entire computer down with it. This was pretty much the end of constant random crashes. And if the blue screens weren't bad enough, there was this other nightmare that tech folks called DLL hell. Basically, you'd install a new program and it would overwrite some shared system file. The problem? One of your other programs needed the old version of that file, and now it's broken. It happened all the time, and it was maddening to fix. XP's solution for this was a technical marvel that worked behind the scenes. To put it simply, it just let every program bring its own private set of system files to the party. No more fighting over shared files. This one tiny, invisible change made the entire system incredibly more reliable. And hey, for those times when things still went wrong, XP gave us these amazing new undo buttons for our entire computer. Mess something up after installing a weird program? No problem. System Restore let you basically travel back in time to before you made the mistake. Installed a bad driver for your graphics card? Driver Rollback let you go back to the old one with a single click. It actually gave normal people the power to fix their own computers. So our computers were now friendly, organized, and stable. The last piece of the puzzle was getting connected. The internet was becoming a necessity, and this newfangled thing called Wi-Fi was starting to pop up. But actually getting online was still a huge headache. I'm not kidding. Before XP, every Wi-Fi adapter you bought came with its own weird, clunky software you had to install just to find a network. It was a total mess. XP introduced this feature called Wireless Zero Configuration. The name sounds technical, but what it meant was that Windows handled everything automatically. It would just show you a list of available networks, you'd click one, type the password, and you were in. This feature is a huge reason why the laptop revolution even happened. Of course, being connected all the time meant we were also more vulnerable. The first version of XP actually had a firewall, but for some reason it was turned off by default. The real game changer was Service Pack 2 in 2004. It rolled out the new Windows firewall, which was way more powerful, and this is the important part, it was turned on by default for everyone. That one decision instantly made the internet safer for millions and millions of people. So when you start to put all these pieces together, when you see all the problems it solved, you really begin to understand why Windows XP wasn't just another OS, but something that left a huge mark. It really boiled down to this perfect recipe. You had the rock-solid stability from the NT kernel, you had the usability from that friendly Luna interface and the Smart Start menu, and you had the connectivity, built for a world of Wi-Fi and always-on internet. For the first time, an operating system was tough enough for the office, but easy enough for your home. And that's really the bottom line. Windows XP was number one. It was the first time that one single version of Windows worked for everybody. It unified that divided world. You could be in a boardroom at a massive company or in your bedroom playing a game, and you were running the exact same, stable, easy-to-use system. It just worked. You know, everything that's come since has really just been building on the foundation that XP laid down. It really set the standard. Which makes me wonder, what's the one thing you remember? Was it the simple start menu? The sounds? Maybe it was that little search puppy, Rover. What's the one Windows XP feature you actually miss?